I was born into protection. Walls, comfort, music, silk, expectation. People tried to keep suffering away from me, as if truth could be managed by architecture. Protection can become a beautiful prison. My early life showed me comfort without comprehension. The palace was not evil. It was incomplete. It represented every human strategy for managing reality through pleasure, distraction, and selective attention. But suffering does not vanish because privilege refuses to name it. Then I saw what protection had hidden: old age, sickness, death, and a seeker. The world I had been given cracked open. The sights of aging, sickness, and death did not give me information only. They shattered an illusion. I saw that the body is vulnerable, relationships are impermanent, and status cannot negotiate with mortality. The fourth sight, the seeker, suggested that facing the truth might itself be a path.
I left not because I hated life, but because I could no longer accept a life built on denial. Pleasure was real, but it could not answer impermanence. Leaving was not hatred of my family. It was a refusal to live half awake. The great renunciation was inward before it was outward. I had to abandon the fantasy that someone else could solve the central problem of existence for me. I went to extremes. I denied the body. I chased purity through suffering. But starving desire did not end confusion. It only made another prison. I studied with teachers and practiced austerities until my body was almost destroyed. Extreme denial did not free me. It became another form of attachment, another identity built around control. I learned that suffering is not ended by worshiping pain any more than by worshiping pleasure.
I found the middle way, neither indulgence nor self-torture. A mind can be trained. Suffering can be understood. Craving can loosen. Under the Bodhi tree, I did not receive a command from outside. I saw dependent arising, how craving, ignorance, perception, and habit condition one another. The enemy was not life itself. The enemy was clinging to what changes as if it could become permanent possession. Under the tree, I watched fear, memory, desire, and illusion rise and pass. I did not conquer the world. I stopped being conquered by craving. The Four Noble Truths are clinical, not pessimistic. There is suffering. It has causes. It can cease. There is a path. This is a diagnosis, an origin, a prognosis, and a treatment. Philosophy becomes medicine when it changes how consciousness meets experience.
I taught four truths. Suffering exists. It has causes. It can cease. There is a path. This was not pessimism. It was diagnosis. The middle way asks for discipline without self-hatred. Right view, intention, speech, action, livelihood, effort, mindfulness, and concentration form a training of the whole person. Liberation is not a mood. It is the steady re-education of attention, desire, and conduct. Notice what you cling to. Notice how quickly wanting becomes fear. Freedom begins when you can observe desire without obeying it.
What I leave you is practical and severe. Look directly at suffering without making it your identity. Watch desire before it becomes command. Practice compassion, because every person is losing what they love. Freedom begins when the mind stops demanding permanence from an impermanent world.